What is up, YouTube, and welcome to this Halo Episode 6 breakdown and review, as we pick up after last week's epic action scene, which in most reviews I've seen, many have really liked it, even if they dislike the show a bit like me. But this episode was actually really decent, apart from that weird interrogation scene. The lack of Quan allowed the show to really focus on, the Halo story, or at least their version of the Halo story in the Silver timeline. Now, we pick up pretty much right away as we see how Chief is able to compartmentalize despite losing his emotional inhibitor chip. There is something very special inside him, which is why he was able to carry on while Kai broke down and almost died last week. And there's the elephant in the room that the Covenant dropped the human who has said she has been kidnapped as a child and used by Covenant. How convenient, Chief is unraveling his own kidnapping while he will now be helping this Covenant despite her ulterior motives with a similar story. I do wonder if there is a semblance of this. Maybe they indoctrinated her until she touched the artifact, and then she started to realize who she is. She wasn't someone who joined the Covenant willingly and has been helping and knowing she's human, but, well, they got rid of her mind. Sort of like what they did with Captain Marvel, where Carol Danvers was taken to Hela and was convinced that she was Kree the whole time. Now, our boy did try to actually kill Halsey, but was stopped by, of course, himself. He wasn't actually going to kill her. He just wanted to know how far the Cortana AI can control him. She can just shut down his central nervous system. She can't actually control him. But he's also proved his point with some intimidation here. He wanted to test how deep Cortana is ingrained in him and what she can and can't do as we cut to the Covenant human in jail, and the Spartan program is under threat as two have gone rogue so far. The Spartans are put under direct UNSC command, but this changes, of course, later on, and the human Covenant's guard, doesn't believe that she is who she says she is, as they don't take prisoners. Now, she calls herself Mackie, I think, as the prisoner is grilled by the Chief, and she says that she's called the Blessed One, and it's similar to what the mad guy Chief met with Soren said, and they are seemingly the same, two Blessed Ones, as they head to where Mackie said to get the second artifact back. Now, Halsey is in deep doo-doo with the UNSC, as she is asked about her work, as the UNSC commander and Jacob Keyes use Halsey as a scapegoat for crimes of what happened in the past, as Chief confronts Halsey. Awkward. Halsey explains how and why she wanted to create the Spartans, as, it's all for the greater good. She's justifying her absolute atrocities because she saved billions of people. Ooh, Thanos. And Miranda walks in, and this scene is just really bizarre with the ghost holograms. I thought it wasn't really well written. It felt very out of place. It turns out that she replaced John with a knockoff android after kidnapping him, and the android thing would die as a cover for the real John, who was taken to be a Spartan. She justifies what she did as she got results, and she needs to continue her work and to help reach the Halo weapon. But he dips without her, and Miranda's quite rightly angry at what happened. But Chief explains that the prisoner is similar to him, and they need to look into that as he talks to Kai. Now, Halsey talks to the UNSC commander, and it seemed like they're going to reach an accord, but Halsey's taken off of the program and exiled, in similar to what's going on in the games there, where she was kind of disavowed as the blood of the human Covenant is tested, and Miranda mentions the ship that was attacked, funny enough, by the Covenant. She wants to help translate the Sangeli, which is awkward because they'll find out that was her. Halsey is under a house arrest with a creepy doctor assistant. I like how they've just forgotten that he tried to kiss the robot Halsey, and they discuss Cortana and how she could escape, and they need to, or at least she needs to, achieve the mission any way means necessary. Sorry, absolutely who whiff there. We see the Spartans working on their weapons, and it looks like a Spartan laser, which is absolutely OP. I love the Spartan laser. Miranda is summoned to her mother, and she tries to look at the blood test results of the Human Covenant. They argue about the ethics, and she patronizes her daughter, complete with crocodile tears, as she's been wearing contact lenses to spy. I didn't really understand that part. Let me know in the comments if you understood that part. Miranda has managed to locate the gene that matches Chief and the Human Covenant, and she explains how she knows from experience that the artifact gives insights into their darkest memories. So I think that is continuing on with what I said. I think that she's starting to realise that Covenant, they're not good people, which she wants to manipulate him to touch the keystone, which I'm unsure if she wanted to do it because if he touches it, it will give the Covenant the location of Reach, which will lead to the fall of Reach. But I think we're a bit early for that. We might be. While this is happening, the Human Covenant says something bad is going to happen as she attacks her guard. As she passes out, Chief sees all of his history and has a vision of the pair on the actual Halo installation, which looks beyond dope. But yes, overall, decent episode. I really, really enjoyed it. I thought it was really, really fun. But that is it for this video. Please drop a like down below. Do subscribe with notifications on. And I'll see you soon. And goodbye.